Welcome back, everybody, to Kleschka Picks Week 2. Let's get started with the Thursday game. So, the Thursday game is Houston and Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati is the only team in the league to have no points. They literally had a goose egg last week. Nothing. Andy Dalton had a terrible game. And Houston lost to Jacksonville. And Houston started Tom Savage and quickly put in Deshaun Watson, the rookie. And I think this time, Cincinnati is going to turn around from what happened last week. Houston's a team that also struggled last week. And I think the final score is going to be Cincinnati 17, Houston 14. Okay, the next game on the list is the Seahawks versus the 49ers. The 49ers lost to the Panthers last week. And the Seahawks also lost to the Packers last week. Now, the only reason the Seahawks lost is because they played a good team. I'll admit that. The Packers are very good. And it was a defensive game, I will say that. It was a defensive week, really. And Seattle is going to have to be able to step their competition if they're going to succeed in the postseason, which I hope they make it to this year. But anyways, I see them dominating San Francisco. San Francisco's an easy team. Seattle's elite. And I see Seattle winning 31-6. After that, it is the Ravens and the Browns. The Ravens are the team that faced the Bengals and shut them out. And the Browns actually put up a very close game against the Steelers, which was actually pretty shocking. But I still think the Browns are not going to be able to beat the Ravens. I think the Browns are still kind of a down low on the list kind of team. And although I think Deshaun Kaiser has shown there's some hope for Cleveland in their future, but I still see Baltimore getting the win 27-20. Panthers and the Bills. The Panthers beat the 49ers last week, and the Bills beat the Jets. Okay, so I think Carolina is the better team overall, and just sweet and simple, I think Carolina is going to get the win. I think it's going to be Carolina 24, Buffalo 17. The Cardinals and the Colts. The Colts were without Andrew Luck, and that proved terrible. The Rams dominated them, and then the Cardinals fell victim to a Matthew Stafford comeback. He does that quite often in his career. And this week I see the Cardinals bouncing back with how bad the Colts offense is at the moment without Andrew Luck. I just see the Cardinals and their defense taking advantage of that, and I think they'll do pretty good on offense. So I think the Cardinals are going to win 27-10. The Titans and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are the team that beat the Texans, and the Titans lost to the Raiders. I am pretty sure. Where is it? Yes, they lost to the Raiders. Okay, but don't get me wrong, the Titans are a good team, and I think they're a better team than the Jaguars. I think the Titans are going to win 34-14. The Chiefs and the Eagles. The Chiefs beat the Patriots, and I was so happy about that. I'm sorry, but it was amazing. Like, if you're a Patriots fan, I feel like those are the only people that want the Patriots to win. I mean, come on. Like, anyways, I'm not going to get into that. The Chiefs beat them. That was just fantastic. And the Eagles beat the Redskins. I honestly thought the Redskins would get that game, but the Eagles did a pretty good number on them. And, however, I think the Chiefs are riding the hotter hand. And I think with Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, I think they're going to do very well against the Eagles in an okay defense. But I think barely beating them. I think the Chiefs are going to win 24-21. Patriots and the Saints. Now, the Saints already have a better upgrade because they're playing at home. They play way better at home. If this was in Foxborough, it'd probably be a different game. But since they're playing in New Orleans, I think this is going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be a shootout kind of game. But I still see the Patriots winning. I just feel like Tom Brady's going to have an easy time taking advantage of the Saints' defense. But I think the Saints will stay in the ballgame pretty well. But I think New England will win 28-24. The Vikings and the Steelers. The Steelers barely beat the Browns last week, and the Vikings have a way better defense than the Browns. But I feel like that was just a fluke, and I feel like they just got kind of unlucky and escaped with the win. But I see them getting their game back together this week. Le'Veon Bell being Le'Veon Bell. Antonio Brown, of course, got tons of yards, but no touchdown. I see them clicking this week on Minnesota, winning barely 20-17. The Bears and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were supposed to play week 1, but Hurricane Irma prevented that, and so they could not play. And the Bears almost beat the Falcons. They almost tied it, I think, in the last couple seconds, but they came up short. So the Buccaneers already have their bye week, basically, and they've had a week of rest, and they're a dominant offense, and I see them getting the win 24-13 over the Bears. The other team who was not able to play due to Hurricane Irma, the Dolphins, and now the Chargers. The Chargers put up a good fight against Denver, and Denver is a tough defense. And playing Miami, I think the Chargers are going to have a good game against Miami. Even though, just like the Buccaneers, they had a week of rest, I feel like Miami is not as good as Denver. I feel like they're not an amazing team in general. So I feel like the Chargers are revamped. They looked way better than they did last year in the game against Denver. And I think they're going to win 23-14. The Jets and the Raiders. The Raiders are a scary, scary offense, and the Jets are not a scary offense at all. Their defense is not good either, and I just think Derek Carr is going to have a field day and wreck the Jets, and I think they're going to dominate them 38-13. The Cowboys and the Broncos. Now, Trevor Siemian had a good game against the Chargers, but even though Denver's defense is very good, the Dallas offense has Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Des Bryant. I just see them younger being able to dominate this defense. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to happen. Not dominate, actually. I see them winning by 1 score. Cowboys 24 and Denver 17. The Redskins and the Rams. The Rams had a very, very good week 1. I don't know where that came from. The Redskins kind of like struggled a lot in week 1. And I think they just need time to get like Terrell Pryor and Kirk Cousins clicking and get into work with each other more. And I think the Rams are going to go back to what everybody knows the Rams as being, and I think the Redskins are going to do pretty well against them and win 28-21. Here is another game I see going into a shootout. That is Green Bay and Atlanta, Packers and Falcons. They played each other last year in the playoffs, and the Falcons won. And this time, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Green Bay looked very good against the Seahawks. So I think they'll do very well against the Falcons. But like I said, I think it'll be a shootout back and forth. But with the Packers coming out with the win in the end, 31-27. And the final game of the week, the Lions and the Giants. Okay, I don't know what it is, but Matthew Stafford can throw for yards, can throw for touchdowns, and he does it late. He's clutch. And the Giants always seem to struggle. They're good, they're bad, they're good, they're bad. But I think it's going to be a close game. These are two very similar teams, I feel like. I don't know. But in the end, I feel like the Lions are going to be the better team, and I feel like they will get the win 24-21. Okay, that is it for Kleschka Picks Week 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe and join the Kleschka crew, and I'll see you next time.